Human Rights Education, CLJ 2. 100 Review Questions. Are you ready? 1. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures of whatever nature and for any purpose shall be inviolable, and no search warrant or warrant of arrest shall issue except upon probable cause to be determined personally by the judge after examination under oath or affirmation of the complainant and the witnesses he may produce, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. A. Article 3 Bill of Rights, Section 1. B. Article 3 Bill of Rights, Section 2. C. Article 3 Bill of Rights, Section 3. D. Article 3 Bill of Rights, Section 4. B. Article 3 Bill of Rights, Section 2. 2. No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall any person be denied the equal protection of the laws. A. Article 3 Bill of Rights, Section 1. B. Article 3 Bill of Rights, Section 2. C. Article 3 Bill of Rights, Section 3. D. Article 3 Bill of Rights, Section 4. A. Article 3 Bill of Rights, Section 1. 3. No law shall be passed abridging the freedom of speech, of expression, or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and petition the government for redress of grievances. A. Article 3 Bill of Rights, Section 1. B. Article 3 Bill of Rights, Section 2. C. Article 3 Bill of Rights, Section 3. D. Article 3 Bill of Rights, Section 4. D. Article 3 Bill of Rights, Section 4. 4. Statement 1. The privacy of communication and correspondence shall be inviolable except upon lawful order of the court, or when public safety or order requires otherwise as prescribed by law. Statement 2. Any evidence obtained in violation of this or the preceding section shall be inadmissible, for any purpose in any proceeding. A. Statement 1 and 2 are both correct. 5. No ex post facto law or bill of attainder shall be enacted. A. True, B. False. C. Maybe. D. Not sure. A. True. 6. A law which hears before it condemns, which proceeds upon inquiry and renders judgments only after trial. A. Criminal procedure. B. Criminal law. C. Due process of law. D. Administrative proceedings. C. Due process of law. 7. Aspects of due process are A. Substantive due process. B. Procedural due process. C. Mixed. D. Both A and B. D. Both A and B. 8. The procedural due process in judicial proceedings is R. 1. An impartial court clothed by law with authority to hear and determine the matter before it. 2. Jurisdiction lawfully acquired over the person of the defendant or property which is the subject matter of the proceedings. 3. Opportunity to be heard given the defendant. 4. Judgment to be rendered after lawful hearing. A. 1, 2, and 3. B. 2, 3, and 4. C. 1 and 3. D. 1, 2, 3, and 4. D. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 9. In procedural due process in administrative proceedings, the decision must be rendered on the evidence presented at the hearing, or at least contained in the record and disclosed to the parties affected. True, B. False. C. Maybe. D. Not sure. True. 10. The tribunal or body or any of its judges must act on its or his own independent consideration of the law and facts of the controversy and not simply accept the views of a subordinate in arriving at a decision. True. B. False. C. Maybe. D. Not sure. A. True. 11. The board or body should, in all controversial questions, render its decision in such a manner that the parties to the proceeding can know the various issues involved, and the reason for the decision rendered. True. B. False. C. Maybe. D. Not sure. A. True. 12. Requisite for valid classification. 1. It rests on substantial distinctions. 2. Germane to the purpose of the law. 3. Not limited to existing condition only. 4. Must apply equally to all members of the same class. 12 and 3. B. 23 and 4. C. 1 and 3. D. 123 and 4. D. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 13. The following are reasonable classification permitted except 1. A. Foreign corporations are made to pay higher amount of taxes than that paid by domestic corporations. B. Certain professions are limited to persons of the female sex. C. Certain privileges for leaves and shorter hours of the labor extended of women are not extended to men. D. None of these. B. Certain professions are limited to persons of the female sex. 14. The following are also reasonable classification permitted, except 1. A. Preferences are given to a Filipino citizen in the lease of public market stalls. B. Different professions are taxed at same amount. C. Employment in factories of children under designated ages is prohibited. D. None of these. B. Different professions are taxed at same amount. 15. Is a written order to arrest a person designated to take him in custody that may be bound to answer for the commission of an offense. Writ of habeas corpus. B. Writ of amparo. C. Warrant of arrest. D. Search warrant. C. Warrant of arrest. 16. Is an order in writing issued in the name of the people of the Philippines, signed by the judge and directed to a peace office, commanding him to search for a certain personal property and bring it before the court. Writ of habeas corpus. B. Writ of amparo. C. Warrant of arrest. D. Search warrant. D. Search warrant. 17. The following are requisites for valid search warrant and warrant of arrest, except 1. Issued upon probable cause. B. The probable cause must determined personally by the judge himself. C. Such determination of the existence of probable cause must be made before examination by the judge of the complainant and the witnesses he may produce. D. Must particularly describe the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. C. Such determination of the existence of probable cause must be made. 18. Before examination by the judge refers to an act by which severe pain or suffering, whether physical or mental, is intentionally inflicted on a person for such purposes as obtaining from him, her, or a third person information or a confession. A. Cruel. B. Hazing. C. Torture. D. Suffering. C. Torture. 19. Underscore are generally defined as those rights which are inherent in our nature and without which we cannot live as human beings. Statutory rights. B. Human rights. C. Constitutional rights. D. Natural rights. B. Human rights. 20. They are God-given rights, or that which in the nature of being human so that we may live a happy life. Statutory rights. B. Human rights. C. Constitutional rights. D. Natural rights. D. Natural rights. 21. Underscore are supreme, inherent, and inalienable rights to life, dignity, and self-development. It is the essence of these rights that makes man human. Statutory rights. B. Human rights. C. Constitutional rights. D. Natural rights. B. Human rights. 22. Is the inherent dignity and the equal and inalienable rights of all members of the human family as mentioned in the preamble of the Universal. A. Statutory rights. B. Human rights. C. Constitutional rights. D. Natural rights. B. Human rights. 23. Are granted by the law made by law-making body and consequently can be taken away by the same authority. Statutory rights. B. Human rights. C. Constitutional rights. D. Natural rights. A. Statutory rights. 24. Are conferred and protected by the Constitution and cannot just be modified by the law-making body. Statutory rights. B. Human rights. C. Constitutional rights. D. Natural rights. C. Constitutional rights. 25. The right to live and to love is underscore. Statutory rights. B. Human rights. C. Constitutional rights. D. Natural rights. C. Constitutional rights. 26. Bill of Rights are underscore statutory rights. B. Human rights. C. Constitutional rights. D. Natural rights. C. Constitutional rights. 27. To receive minimum wage is underscore statutory rights. B. Human rights. C. Constitutional rights. D. Natural rights. A. Statutory rights. 28. Right to inherit is underscore. A. Statutory rights. B. Human rights. C. Constitutional rights. D. Natural rights. A. Statutory rights. 29. Right to vote is underscore. Statutory rights. B. Human rights. C. Constitutional rights. D. Natural rights. A. Statutory rights. 30. Human rights are underscore for they are not granted by any person, authority, or law. Inherent. B. Inalienable. C. Interdependent. D. Imprescriptible. Inherent. 31. Human rights are underscore for they cannot be lost even by a long passage of time. Inherent. B. Inalienable. C. Interdependent. D. Imprescriptible. D. Imprescriptible. 32. Human rights are underscore for the fulfillment of one cannot be had without the realization of the others. Inherent. B. Inalienable. C. Interdependent. D. Imprescriptible. C. Interdependent. 33. Human rights are underscore for they cannot be just taken away from an individual such as freedom from torture. Inherent. B. Inalienable. C. Interdependent. D. Imprescriptible. B. Inalienable. 34. Human rights are underscore for they are not capable of being divided. Indivisible. B. Fundamental. C. Universal. D. Inherent. Indivisible. 35. Human rights are underscore, for it is what give essence to every human being, and without them human life and dignity would be meaningless, such as right to liberty and security. A. Indivisible. B. Fundamental. C. Universal. D. Inherent. B. Fundamental. 36. Human rights are underscore for it is due to all human beings regardless of their origin, status, race, condition, or place of living. A. Indivisible. B. Fundamental. C. Universal. D. Inherent. C. Universal. 37. Those rights which the law will enforce at the instance of private individuals for the purpose of securing to them the enjoyment of their means of happiness. A. Civil. B. Political. C. Economic. D. Social. A. Civil. 38. Those rights which enable man to participate in running the affairs of the government directly or indirectly. Civil. B. Political. C. Economic. D. Social. B. Political. 39. Those which enable man to achieve economic development and financial security. Civil. B. Political. C. Economic. D. Social. C. Economic. 40. Those which enable man to achieve social development to secure their well-being and happiness. A. Civil. B. Political. C. Economic. D. Social. D. Social. 41. The right to enter into an agreement, to name a few. Civil. B. Political. C. Economic. D. Social. A. Civil. 42. To receive a just compensation. Civil. B. Political. C. Economic. D. Social. C. Economic. 43. The right to form an association and to peacefully assemble. A. Civil. B. Political. C. Economic. D. Social. D. Social. 44. Those that ensure the well-being of the individual and foster the preservation, enrichment, and dynamic evolution of national culture, historical rights, B. Cultural rights, C. Heritage rights, D. Filipino rights. B. Cultural rights. 45. It is the last stage of human rights where these rights are enjoyed by the people of the state through the transformation of the social, economic, and political orders. Idealization. B. Positivization. C. Realization. D. Socialization. C. Realization. 46. This supports the notion of the first stage, which strengthens it and incorporates them into some legal instruments, whether for domestic or international coverage. Idealization. B. Positivization. C. Realization. Socialization. B. Positivization. 47. This means that human rights started from the realm of ideas that reflect a consciousness against oppression, dehumanization, or abuses inadequate performance by the state. A. Idealization. B. Positivization. C. Realization. D. Socialization. A. Idealization. 48. No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property _ due process of law, nor shall any person be denied the equal protection of the laws. Have. B. With. C. Hasn't. D. Without. D. Without. 49. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against _ searches and seizures of whatever nature and for any purpose shall be inviolable, and no search warrant or warrant of arrest shall issue. Reasonable. B. Unreasonable. C. Lawful. D. Unlawful. B. Unreasonable. 50. Except upon _ to be determined personally by the judge, after examination under oath or affirmation of the complainant and the witnesses he may produce, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. A. Warrant. B. Lawfully. C. Reasonable. D. Probable cause. D. Probable cause. 51. Is the right to be left alone? _ is definitely connected to the right against unreasonable search and seizure. A. Segregation. B. Solitude. C. Isolation. D. Privacy. D. Privacy. 52. A policeman who, without a judicial order, enters a private house over the owner's opposition is guilty of trespass to dwelling. According to the law, it is legal. A. True. The policeman was not acting under the color of his official authority. B. False. The crime committed was searching domicile without witnesses. A policeman carry with it an authority to make search and seizure. C. True. The policeman with abuse of his authority entered a private house and is guilty of qualified trespass to dwelling. D. False. The crime committed is violation of domicile. D. False. The crime committed is violation of domicile. 53. Warrantless arrest is considered legitimate or valid, and it includes a warrantless search and seizure in arrest in flagrante delicto. B. Arrest of escaped prisoner. C. Arrest effected in hot pursuit. D. All of the above. D. All of the above. 54. An arrest without a warrant may be lawfully made by a peace officer or a private person if underscore 1. When, in his presence, the person to be arrested has committed, is actually committing, or is attempting to commit an offense. 2. When an offense has just been committed and he has probable cause to believe based on personal knowledge of facts and circumstances that the person to be arrested has probably committed the offense. 3. Escaped prisoner from place of confinement or detention. A. 1 and 2, B. 2 and 3, C. 1 and 3. D. 1, 2, and 3. D. 1, 2, and 3. 55. The requirements for the issuance of a search warrant are more stringent than the requirements for the issuance of warrant of arrest because underscore 1. In a warrant of arrest, the person to be arrested can always post bail to prevent deprivation of his liberty. 2. The right against search and seizure is implicit in the natural right to life, liberty, and property. 3. The violation of the right to privacy produces a humiliating effect which cannot be rectified anymore. D. 1, 2, and 3. 56. A search warrant is issued purposely to search and seize personal property which are underscore 1. Subject of the offense. 2. Stolen or embezzled and other proceeds or fruits of the offense. 3. Used or intended to be used as the means of committing an offense. A. 1 and 2, B. 2 and 3, C. 1 and 3. D. 1, 2, and 3. D. 1, 2, and 3. 57. Persons protected by the provisions against unreasonable search and seizure. A. Citizens of the Philippines only within the jurisdiction of the Philippines. B. To all persons whether citizens or aliens within the jurisdiction of the state. C. To all persons accused of acts and omissions punishable under the revised penal code. D. All of them. B. To all persons whether citizens or aliens within the jurisdiction of the state. 58. Is outlawed because they place the sanctity of the domicile and the privacy of communication and correspondence at the mercy of the whims, caprice, or passion of peace officers. A. Unreasonable search and seizure. B. Illegally seized documents. C. General search warrant. D. All of them. Default text. 59. To whom does the officer seizing property under warrant must give a detailed receipt for the same? 1. To lawful occupant of the premises in whose presence the search and seizure were made. 2. In the absence of such occupant and the search was made in the presence of at least 2 witnesses of sufficient age and discretion residing in the same locality, leave a receipt in the place in which he found the seized property. 3. To the judge who issued it, A. 1 and 2, B. 2 and 3, C. 1 and 3. D. 1, 2, and 3. One and 2. 60. It is an order in writing issued in the name of the people of the Philippines, signed by a judge and directed to a peace officer commanding him to search for personal property described therein and bring it before the court, search order. B. Search warrant. C. Warrant of arrest. D. Arrest, search, and seizure order. B. Search warrant. 61. Underscore are protected by the provisions against unreasonable search and seizure, all Filipino citizen only. B. All person under the order of the court. C. All persons accused of acts and omission punishable by the RPC. D. All persons, whether citizens or aliens within the jurisdiction of the state. D. All persons, whether citizens or aliens within the jurisdiction of the state. 62. A scattershot warrant is a warrant of search and seizure or arrest that is issued, 1. For more than one offense. 2. It is void because the law requires that a warrant can be issued only for one specific offense. 3. It is valid for two specific offenses only. 1 and 2. B. 2 and 3. C. 1 and 3. D. 1, 2, and 3. A. 1 and 2. 63. For purposes of search and seizure, the officer can break into any building or enclosure without violating the right of privacy. Is this allowed? No, never allowed. B. Yes, when there is consent and there is a warrant. C. No, this is allowed only in making an arrest not. SEARCHD. Yes, when there is imminent danger. B. Yes, when there is consent and there is a warrant. 64. Was the seizure of the firearm valid? A. No, the seizure of the firearm was not valid because it was seized without a search warrant. B. Yes, the seizure was valid. It was seized in the course of a valid arrest in a buy-bust operation. A search warrant is not necessary. C. No, the seizure of the unlicensed firearm is not valid. It is a fruit of a poisonous tree. It was not seized in a valid search and seizure. D. Yes, because it is illegal. B. Yes, the seizure was valid. It was seized in the course of a valid arrest in a buy-bust operation. A search warrant is not necessary. 65. Before his arraignment, Mr. Lennon filed a motion to quash the warrant on the ground that it was not him who is in the search warrant. Would the motion be granted? A. Yes, the search was conducted without the consent of the owner of the house, and in fact, it is a violation of searching domicile without witness. B. No, the name of the person in the search warrant is not important. It is not even necessary that a particular person be implicated. C. Yes, the name of the person in a search warrant should be stated therein, the same as the things to be searched and seized, and the place to be searched. D. No, the search is conducted in the place where the search warrant will be served. Moreover, describing the shabu in an undetermined amount is sufficiently particular. B. No, the name of the person in the search warrant is not important. It is not even necessary that a particular person be implicated. 66. This allows evidence seized by state officers in an illegal search and seizure to be used against the accused in a criminal trial. A. Fruit of the poisonous tree. B. Plain view. C. Silver platter. D. In flagrante delicto. C. Silver platter. 67. Exclusionary rule is underscore. A. To allow evidence seized in an illegal search and seizure to be used against the accused in criminal trial. B. To avoid the introduction of incompetent evidence, such evidence obtained in violation of the constitutional rights and such evidence obtained through illegal means. C. An illegally obtained extrajudicial confession nullifies the intrinsic validity of the confession and renders it unreliable as evidence of the truth. It is the fruit of poisonous tree. D. For the prevention of fraud and is declared to be essential to the pure administration of justice. The correct answer is B. 68. Inadmissibility of illegally obtained extrajudicial confession. A. To allow evidence seized in an illegal search and seizure to be used against the accused in criminal trial. B. To avoid the introduction of incompetent evidence, such evidence obtained in violation of the constitutional rights and such evidence obtained through illegal means. C. An illegally obtained extrajudicial confession nullifies the intrinsic validity of the confession and renders it unreliable as evidence of the truth. It is the fruit of poisonous tree. D. For the prevention of fraud and is declared to be essential to the pure administration of justice. The correct answer is C. 69. Best evidence rule is underscore. A. To allow evidence seized in an illegal search and seizure to be used against the accused in criminal trial. B. To avoid the introduction of incompetent evidence, such evidence obtained in violation of the constitutional rights and such evidence obtained through illegal means. C. An illegally obtained extrajudicial confession nullifies the intrinsic validity of the confession and renders it unreliable as evidence of the truth. It is the fruit of poisonous tree. D. For the prevention of fraud and is declared to be essential to the pure administration of justice. The correct answer is D. 70. Doctrine of stale demands. A. For the prevention of fraud and is declared to be essential to the pure administration of justice. B. To prevent the temptation to perjury because death has already sealed the lips of the party. C. To allow evidence seized in an illegal search and seizure to be used against the accused in criminal trial. D. Gives rise to a presumption that the party entitled to assert it has abandoned or declined to assert it. The correct answer is D. 71. Could dwelling be appreciated as an aggravating circumstance? A. Yes, a boarding house being occupied by Tampoy is a dwelling where she enjoys privacy, peace of mind, and sanctity of abode. B. No, dwelling could not be appreciated because they were living at the same boarding house. They share the same abode, and it could not be appreciated as an aggravating circumstance. C. Yes, dwelling is any home or citadel that should be respected regardless of its structure. D. No, a boarding house occupied by Tampoy is not a dwelling. She is just merely renting it, and it could not be considered as her own abode. The correct answer is A. 72. No law shall be passed abridging the freedom of speech, of expression, or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and petition the government for redress of grievances. A. True. B. False. C. Yes. D. No. A. True. 73. If the witness is the accused, he may be asked to do certain mechanical or physical acts, and which of the following is not a violation against self-incrimination? Except, to be fingerprinted even without the assistance of the layer. B. To be paraffin tested even without the assistance of the lawyer. C. To be subjected to ultraviolet power without the presence of the layer. D. Writing or taking dictations. D. Writing or taking dictations. 74. Aaron was accused of libel. While Aaron was on the witness stand, the prosecution asked his to write his name and to sign on a piece of paper, apparently to prove that he authored the libelous material. Aaron objected as writing and signing his name would violate his right against self-incrimination. A. It is not a violation of his right against self-incrimination, as he could be cross-examined just like any other witness, and his sample signature may be taken to verify his alleged authorship of the libelous statements. B. Aaron waived his right against self-incrimination as soon as he became a witness. C. This is not a violation of his right against self-incrimination. This privilege may be invoked only by the accused when he opts to take the witness stand. D. It is a clear violation of his right against self-incrimination. It is a fundamental right that affects liberty. The correct answer is D. 75. In habeas corpus proceedings, any person may apply for a writ on behalf of the aggrieved party. The important issue in such a case is deprivation of one's honor, b. liberty, c. reputation, d. property. B. Liberty. 76. As general rule, the offended party cannot go directly to court to file a criminal action except a. Where the accused is under detention, b. Where a person has been deprived of personal liberty calling for habeas corpus proceedings, c. Where actions are coupled with provisional remedies and where the action may be barred by the statute of limitations, d. All of them. D. All of them. 77. It is a remedy available to any person whose right to life, liberty, and security has been violated or is threatened with violation by an unlawful act or omission of a public official or employee or of a private individual or entity, habeas corpus. B. Writ of amparo, c. Writ of calicasan, d. Habeas data. B. Writ of amparo. 78. It is a remedy available to any person whose right to privacy and life, liberty, or security is violated or threatened by an unlawful act of any official or employee, or of a private individual or entity engaged in the gathering, collecting, or storing of data or information. Habeas corpus. B. Writ of amparo. C. Writ of mandamus. D. Habeas data. D. Habeas data. 79. No person shall be compelled to be a witness against himself. Is this true? A. True. B. False. C. Yes. B. No. C. Yes. 80. All persons shall have the right to a speedy disposition of their cases before all judicial, quasi-judicial, or administrative bodies. A. True. B. False. C. Yes. D. No. True. 81. According to this criminal justice model, the rights of an individual must be co-equal with the concern for public safety. A. Crime prevention. B. Crime control. C. Law and order. D. Due process. D. Due process. 82. Which rights are considered inherent upon a person? 1. Right to dignity. 2. Equal protection of law. 3. Right to due process of law. 4. Right to life. 1 and 2. B. 1 and 4. C. 3 and 4. D. 2 and 4. B. 1 and 4. 83. It is a basic characteristics of human rights that cannot be rightfully taken away from a free individual. Inherent. B. Inalienable. C. Imprescriptible. D. Indivisible. B. Inalienable. 84. When should be informed of Miranda rights? A. Before he is put into custody. B. After he was asked any question related to crime he was arrested for. C. When he is already assisted by a counsel of his choice or as provided for. D. Immediately after he is arrested. D. Immediately after he is arrested. 85. Right to appeal is a _ A. Right. B. Privilege. C. Not a constitutional right. D. Constitutional right. B. Privilege. 86. Human rights cannot be just taken away from an individual, such as freedom from torture, inherent, B. Inalienable, C. Interdependent, D. Imprescriptible. B. Inalienable. 87. There are how many main international human rights? 3B5. C. 7. D. 10. C. 7. 88. The following are the three stages of human rights except idealization, B. Positivization, C. Realization, D. Utilization. D. Utilization. 89. What particular provision of the Constitution which mandates the creation of the Commission on Human Rights? A. Art. 13, Section 17. B. Art. 8, Section 17. C. Art. 7, Section 13. D. Art. 13, Section 13. A. Art. 13, Section 17. 90. God-given rights acknowledged by everybody to be morally good. A. Natural rights. B. Divine law. C. Statutory rights. D. Civil rights. A. Natural rights. 91. What is the human civil rights document from the French Revolution? A. Declaration of Independence. B. Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen. C. Geneva Convention. D. Nelson Mandela Rule. B. Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen. 92. This is a set of international rules established by treaty or custom on the basis of which individuals and groups can expect and/or claim certain rights that must be respected and protected by their states. A. International Humanitarian Law, IHL. B. International Human Rights Law, IHRL. C. United Nations. D. Interpol. B. International Human Rights Law, IHRL. 93. This outlines the obligations and duties of the states to respect, to protect, and to fulfill human rights. A. International Humanitarian Law, IHL. B. International Human Rights Law, IHRL. C. UN Nations. D. Interpol. A. International Humanitarian Law, IHL. 94. This refers to the rights to speech and expression, assembly and association, to vote and political participation. These rights thus guarantee individual rights to involvement in public affairs and the affairs of the state, civil rights. B. Economic, social, and cultural rights. C. Solidarity or collective rights. D. Political rights. D. Political rights. 95. This refers to rights to the benefits of culture, indigenous land rituals, and shared cultural practices. The right to speak one's own language and education, civil rights. B. Economic, social, and cultural rights. C. Solidarity or collective rights. D. Cultural rights. D. Cultural rights. 96. This refers to right to family, education, health, well-being, property, work, and social security, and necessary for an adequate standard of living. A. Civil rights. C. Solidarity or collective rights. B. Social and economic. D. Political rights. B. Social and economic. 97. As a general rule, what does the Constitution provide insofar as search and seizure is concerned? Search must be done by the police only. B. Search must be upon order of the court. C. Search should be conducted only when there is a warrant. D. Search must not deprive the person of his property. C. Search should be conducted only when there is a warrant. 98. James is a police officer. He arrested Nash without a warrant for a crime which is considered as less grave offense. For James to be not liable for the crime of arbitrary detention, he must deliver Nash to proper judicial authorities within from the time of the arrest. 12 hours. B. 18 hours. C. 36 hours. D. 32 hours. B. 18 hours. 99. In what instance may search and seizure be made without warrant? 1. When it is with the consent of the accused. 2. When search is incidental to lawful arrest. 3. When it is made for dangerous weapon or anything which may be used as proof of the commission of an offense. 1 and 2. B. 2 and 3. C. 1 and 3. D. 1, 2, and 3. D. 1, 2, and 3. 100. Are outlawed because they place the sanctity of the domicile and the privacy of communication and correspondence at the mercy of the whims, caprice, or passion of peace officers. A. Unreasonable search and seizure. B. Illegally seized documents. C. General search warrant. D. All of the above. A. Unreasonable search and seizure. Comment your score.
Study smarter, not harder. Subscribe for more.